Happiness. We all want it, but why does it feel so hard to hold on to? Some days it feels close, like a sunny morning with nothing pressing on your mind. Other days it's lost in the grind of responsibilities, worries, and the weight of expectations. The more we chase it, the more it seems to slip through our fingers. The truth is that happiness isn't something we need to hunt for. It's not hidden in a promotion, a perfect relationship, or the next big milestone. Happiness, as Marcus Aurelius once wrote, is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. It's not about what we add to our lives, but about simplifying what's already there. Think of a tree. Its strength comes not from the number of branches it grows, but from the depth of its roots. Just like that, a happy life doesn't demand endless pursuits or perfection. In this video, we'll be exploring the 3 simple things a happy life needs. How much of your time is spent feeling disconnected from the people you care about? How often do you find yourself wondering if the path you're on is the one you truly want to walk? These questions might feel heavy, but answering them is where the lightness begins. The beauty of happiness lies in its simplicity. By focusing on these 3 essentials, you can build a life that feels not just good on the surface, but deeply fulfilling at its core. Are you ready to take the first step? Before we begin, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing videos like this. Let's begin by stripping away the noise and rediscovering what truly matters. Clarity of mind. Your mind is like a lens through which you see the world. When that lens is clean and clear, everything feels sharper, more vibrant, and manageable. But when it's smudged with distractions, fears, and endless to-do lists, life becomes overwhelming. Most of us carry the weight of mental clutter without even realizing it. Old worries, unspoken frustrations, a constant buzz of thoughts that leave little room for peace. It's a no-brainer that clarity of mind is a rarity today. We live in a time where notifications fight for our attention every minute, where multitasking is worn like a badge of honor, and where productivity often matters more than presence. The result? Our minds are stretched thin, jumping from one thought to the next, barely catching a moment to breathe. We feel exhausted, not because our days are inherently hard, but because our minds are overloaded. This mental chaos robs us of something crucial: the ability to truly be here, in this moment. Marcus Aurelius, in all his wisdom, recognized this when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The clarity he spoke of wasn't about eliminating problems from life. It was about creating space in your mind to respond to those problems with calmness and control. But clarity of mind isn't something that just happens. It's something we cultivate. Imagine walking into a cluttered room, clothes on the floor, papers scattered everywhere, dishes piled in the sink. You can't think clearly in that space until you start tidying up. The same goes for your mind. You need to clear out what no longer serves you, the thoughts that weigh you down, the constant noise of what you should be doing instead of what truly matters. So, how do you create that clarity? It starts with awareness. Most of us don't even notice the chaos in our minds because we've become so used to it. Take a moment right now to pause. What's been looping in your thoughts today? Is it something you can solve, or is it something you've been carrying unnecessarily? Naming your distractions is the first step to letting them go. Then, there's the practice of mindfulness. It's a simple yet transformative habit. You don't need to sit cross-legged on a mountaintop to be mindful. It's as easy as focusing on your breath for a minute, or truly savoring your morning coffee without scrolling on your phone. These small pauses help your mind reset, giving you a break from the endless chatter. Boundaries also play a key role. In a world where everyone and everything demands your attention, saying no is an act of self-respect. Turn off the notifications. Limit the time you spend on things that drain you. Protect your focus like it's the most precious resource you have, because it is. Clarity of mind doesn't mean your life will be free of challenges, but when your thoughts are clear, you'll approach those challenges with a steadiness that feels almost unshakable. You'll be able to recognize what truly deserves your energy and what doesn't. You'll find yourself moving through life with more ease, more confidence, and most importantly, more presence. This isn't about perfection. Distractions will come. But every time you gently bring yourself back to what matters, you're building clarity, one moment at a time. And with clarity comes a deep sense of peace, a quiet knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you'll handle it. Meaningful connections. There's a reason why some of our happiest memories involve other people. A heartfelt conversation with a friend, a quiet moment with someone who understands you without words, the laughter shared over a meal. These are the moments that remind us we're not alone and that life is richer when it's shared. Yet in a world that's more connected than ever, so many of us feel deeply alone. Social media gives the illusion of closeness, but scrolling through highlight reels rarely satisfies the need for true connection. We might have hundreds of acquaintances, but how many people truly know us? The real us? It's not the number of connections that matters. It's the depth. The Stoics understood the value of meaningful relationships. Marcus Aurelius spoke of living in harmony with others, emphasizing that humans are social beings by nature. We're not meant to go through life isolated or detached. Connection grounds us, gives us perspective, and reminds us of our shared humanity. But for connection to be meaningful, it requires more than proximity. It demands vulnerability, presence, and effort. Think about the relationships in your life right now. How many of them feel truly fulfilling? How often do you take the time to really listen to someone, not just with your ears, but with your heart? In our fast-paced world, it's easy to let relationships slip into the background. We send a quick text instead of calling. We cancel plans because we're too busy. Slowly, without realizing it, we drift apart from the people who matter most. Building meaningful connections starts with intention. Relationships don't flourish by accident. They grow when we prioritize them. It might mean reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in months, or sitting down with a loved one and asking, "How are you really doing?" These small moments of effort can transform a casual relationship into a meaningful one. But connection isn't just about giving. It's also about receiving. For many of us, being vulnerable feels uncomfortable. We hesitate to share our struggles, fearing judgment or rejection. But vulnerability is the foundation of true connection. It's in those moments of honesty, when you admit you're struggling, when you share your dreams, when you let someone see the unpolished parts of you, that relationships deepen. Presence is equally important. How often do we sit with someone while our minds are elsewhere? We're physically there, but we're thinking about work, scrolling on our phones, or worrying about the next thing on our to-do list. True connection happens when you give someone your full attention. When you look them in the eye, put your phone away, and really hear what they're saying. Boundaries also play a role in meaningful relationships. Not everyone you meet will be good for your growth or peace. It's okay to let go of connections that drain you or feel one-sided. The goal isn't to surround yourself with as many people as possible. It's to nurture relationships that uplift and inspire you. Meaningful connections remind us that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. They bring joy during the good times and comfort during the hard ones. They challenge us to grow, to see the world through someone else's eyes, and to show up as our best selves. Life isn't about going it alone. The moments that matter most often involve the people who walk alongside us. When we invest in these connections, when we choose depth over surface, presence over distraction, and vulnerability over fear, we create a life filled with love, support, and belonging. Purposeful living. Life without purpose is like setting sail without a destination. You can drift endlessly, carried by the currents of circumstance, but eventually you'll find yourself lost, wondering why you're even on the journey. Purpose gives life direction, a reason to get up each day and push forward, even when the waters are rough. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about moving with intention, knowing that your actions are aligned with something meaningful to you. But purpose can feel elusive, can't it? It's one of those words that's thrown around so often that it starts to lose meaning. We're told to find our purpose, as if it's hidden under a rock, waiting to be discovered. The truth is, purpose isn't always something you find. More often, it's something you create. For some people, purpose comes from a lifelong passion, a calling they've felt since they were young. For others, it's something they stumble upon later in life, sometimes through trial and error, sometimes through a moment of clarity during hardship. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, and that's what makes purpose deeply personal. The Stoics had a word for this sense of direction, eudaimonia. It's often translated as happiness or flourishing, but it goes deeper than that. Eudaimonia is about living in alignment with your values, contributing to the greater good, and fulfilling your potential. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." This wasn't about urgency, but about intentionality, living each moment with meaning no matter how small the act. So, how do you find or create this sense of purpose? The first step is to look inward. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What are the things that light me up, that make me feel alive? It might be your family, a creative pursuit, a cause you care deeply about, or even a commitment to personal growth. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to matter to you. Sometimes, purpose reveals itself through struggle. Think about the challenges you've faced in life, the times when you were tested and came out stronger. These moments often carry clues about your purpose. Maybe you've experienced loss and now feel called to support others in similar situations. Maybe you've overcome adversity and want to inspire others to do the same. Our deepest pains can sometimes point us toward our greatest contributions. Living with purpose also requires action. It's not enough to identify what matters. You have to align your daily choices with those values. This doesn't mean overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about small, consistent steps. If your purpose is tied to helping others, it could mean volunteering a few hours a week. If it's about creativity, it might mean setting aside time each day to write, paint, or build. Purposeful living isn't about perfection. It's about progress. One of the biggest misconceptions about purpose is that it's static, that once you find it, it never changes. In reality, purpose evolves as you do. The things that mattered to you in your 20s might not hold the same weight in your 40s. That's okay. Purpose isn't a destination, it's a journey. The key is to remain open, to continually ask yourself what feels meaningful in this season of your life, and to have the courage to follow where that leads. But purposeful living isn't just about the big picture. It's also about the small, everyday moments. Purpose can be found in the way you treat a stranger, the love you pour into your relationships, or the passion you bring to your work. It's in the seemingly mundane acts that, when done with intention, carry great meaning. At the same time, living with purpose doesn't mean you'll never feel lost or unsure. There will be days when your path feels unclear, when doubts creep in, and when life's challenges make you question everything. In these moments, remember that purpose isn't about certainty. It's about persistence. It's about continuing to move forward, even when the way ahead is foggy, trusting that clarity will come. Purposeful living also requires balance. It's easy to become so focused on achieving your goals that you forget to enjoy the journey. But a life driven solely by purpose without moments of rest and joy can lead to burnout. Remember that purpose and presence go hand in hand. Take time to savor the simple pleasures, a beautiful sunset, a shared laugh, a quiet moment of reflection. These moments recharge you and remind you why your purpose matters in the first place. It's important, too, to recognize that purpose doesn't exist in isolation. It's deeply connected to the other pillars of a happy life. Without clarity of mind, it's hard to focus on your purpose. Without meaningful connections, purpose can feel lonely. The three work together, each strengthening the others. Ultimately, purposeful living is about alignment. It's about ensuring that your actions reflect your values, that your days are spent on what truly matters to you, and that your life feels like it's moving in the direction you want it to go. It's not about having all the answers or following a predetermined path. It's about creating a life that feels honest, intentional, and deeply fulfilling. When you live with purpose, every day has meaning, even the hard ones. Your struggles become stepping stones, your achievements feel richer, and your relationships deepen. You wake up not just to get through the day, but to truly live it. That's the power of purpose. It gives you a reason to keep going, to grow, to contribute, and to become the best version of yourself. And isn't that what we're all searching for? A life that feels not just lived, but truly meaningful. Ultimately, purposeful living is about alignment. It's about ensuring your actions reflect your values, that your days are spent on what truly matters, and that your life moves in a direction you can be proud of. It doesn't require certainty or a flawless plan, just a commitment to walking your path with intention and honesty. When you live with purpose, even the smallest actions carry weight. The hard days don't feel meaningless because they're part of something larger. The relationships you nurture, the contributions you make, and the challenges you face all take on a deeper significance. Purpose gives you a reason to show up, to keep striving, and to embrace life fully. This is the essence of a purposeful life. Not perfection, but progress. Not always knowing, but always seeking. It's about creating a life that feels real. One that, at the end of it all, you can look back on and say, I gave it my all, and it was worth it. Living a happy life doesn't mean you'll always feel joyful or have everything figured out. It's about embracing the simplicity of what truly matters. A clear mind that gives you peace, meaningful connections that nourish your soul, and a sense of purpose that drives you forward. These three pillars don't require perfection, only intention. When you prioritize them, you create a life that feels fulfilling, balanced, and deeply authentic. The beauty of this journey is that it's yours to shape. Every step you take, whether it's letting go of mental clutter, investing in relationships, or aligning with your purpose, is a step closer to the life you deserve. Remember, happiness isn't found in the big, shiny moments, but in the quiet, steady commitment to what truly matters. Now, We want to hear from you. What does happiness mean to you? Which of these 3 pillars resonates most with your life right now? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more wisdom on living with purpose and intention. Your journey to a happier life starts here.